Right then, Manchester United have been, I don't know if I can say heavily linked, but certainly linked with Thomas Tuchel over the past week or so. Sanctions against Chelsea owner Roman Abramovich and Chelsea Football Club because of his ownership are seemingly biting hard. That's led some people to start linking Thomas Tuchel to the possibility of becoming Manchester United manager, largely in part due to his prior relationship that he has with Ralf Rangnick. But is there any truth in it? And is there actually any substance to this? Well, let's have a look and try and find out if we can get to the truth. Now, the MEN reported that Tuchel is tied until 2024, bit of a prohibitive length on the contract that he's got, and how he's handled the club's circumstances so far seems to intensify the desire for the next club owners to keep hold of him. United have apparently refused to rule out an approach for him amid the uncertainty at Chelsea. Laurie Whitwell said the period now is crucial for United to properly scrutinise manager candidates and become convinced of our choice. The club is considering Chelsea's position, re Thomas Tuchel. And Jamie Jackson, again, who's well sourced, says United are closely monitoring Tuchel's situation at Chelsea. So on the face of things, there's actually some interest here. I imagine that interest is largely Ralf Rangnick's doing. And to be honest, if he was to be thrown in the mix alongside Ten Hag and Pochettino, he wouldn't be bottom of my list. Now, obviously, there's a relationship that is existing between Rangnick and Tuchel, and that relationship stretches back to 1997 when Rangnick took charge of Ulm and Tuchel was playing there. Amongst that squad, there was a young defender by the name of Tommy Tuchel, and a year later, Tuchel had to cut his playing career short, aged just 25 due to a chronic knee cartilage injury. Probably something they could fix nowadays, but in 1997, not so much. So Tuchel and Ralf Rangnick's relationship started then, really, and Tuchel was pushed into coaching by Rangnick. He's not just been a mentor and someone whose philosophies kind of following each other's shadow a little bit, but he's someone that obviously wanted him to go into coaching, and I'm sure would have been someone that Tuchel lent on early in his career heavily. In an interview with Sky Sports, he said, we had a phone call. He asked me if he can imagine that he was at Stuttgart to join the academy and try coaching because he thought he'd be a good fit. He goes, I wasn't 100% convinced, really, but it was kind of an internship and I loved it. And yeah, it was a good decision. Rangnick left the club in 2001 and Tuchel went on to become a head coach in his own right. And after the encouragement and a bit of tutelage under Rangnick, it led him to 5 matches against each other as managers in the Bundesliga between 2009 and 2011. Rangnick did dismiss the links, but when you're clearly getting sources from inside the club not dismissing the links, I think that's because Rangnick's a little closer to it than he's probably comfortable coming and saying. Rangnick seemingly was the spark plug for Tuchel's managerial career as an understudy of his. If Rangnick saw something back then, knowing what he knows about Manchester United, if he puts him in the mix, I'd be inclined to think it'd be worth looking at. But I'm also inclined to believe that I don't think Chelsea are in as much danger and as much trouble as they're being made out to be. I think they'll get bought by somebody else, whether that's for real or as some sort of shadow game because Roman Abramovich wants to keep hold of his power within Chelsea because the guy is a genuine football fan. And you can tell that the way he runs Chelsea to a certain degree. You might disagree with his methods in terms of hiring and firing managers on a constant basis. But I don't think you can rule out the fact that all he's here to do is win. Something our owners could learn a hell of a lot from. Now, with Tuchel already being at Chelsea for a year, he's already passed his sell-by date generally as a Chelsea manager. He's probably less than 6 or 12 months away from getting the sack. With Ralf Rangnick in charge at Manchester United, I can start to make a case for why would Thomas Tuchel want to leave, what's generally a pretty good job as a manager at Chelsea, except for the reason that you're going to get sacked in about 5 months. And that's the big thing. If he wants security, if he wants to go to a club that, I'm not going to say better run, but a club with at least more patience in Manchester United, with someone he knows as his boss at the helm, I actually think, despite the disparity in terms of the quality of the two squads, I actually think Thomas Tuchel could be convinced to join Manchester United. I just think that it's unlikely. I think Chelsea will get bought out by somebody else. I think he'll be given a hell of a lot of money to spend in the summer. And I think he'll probably end up getting a sack soon. He might also be thinking, when the new owner comes in, they might not be as trigger happy as Roman Abramovich is. I've won a European Cup here. I know the players here. I know what I need here. I need X, Y, and Z, and I think we can compete. And that might be, the very good reasons why he doesn't want to jump ship immediately and come over to United. So, to sum up, do I think there's anything in Tuchel to Manchester United? I actually do. I do think there's something in this. I would say in terms of likelihood, he's below 25% likely, and I think Ten Hag and Pochettino are a lot further along the line in terms of being likely and maybe even being done. But I do think that should the situation not improve in the near future at Chelsea, on and off the field, should he start to see how often managers get fired, maybe he's even having some conversations along those lines himself, looking like he's probably going to win nothing this season, I think he might go, do you know what? Let's go work with Ralph. I think it's unlikely, far less likely than either us seeing Poch or Ten Hag at Manchester United. But I can't sit here and say it's complete fantasy. And I can't completely say that's just not going to happen. I can say unlikely, but not impossible. Do I think it'd be a success? Let's save that for another video in case anything develops on this, shall we? Cheers for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe. We are doing the rundown tonight. If you would like to come and join in and see what all the fuss is about, then hit the link in the description and come join the rundown. 9 o'clock tonight, we'll be getting absolutely off our box. And you are invited to join us, but only if you're a patron. See you in a bit. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.